This episode is brought to you by Jane, a practice management software and EMR built to support the day-to-day work of running a business. Practitioners know care begins before a client arrives. Jane is here to support every part of that experience with features like online booking, scheduling, and payments. Learn more about Jane at jane.app/demo. And if you're ready to get started, use the code ABMP1MO, that's ABMP, the number 1, MO, for a 1-month grace period on your new account.
Hello and welcome to Fully Booked with Elicia Crook. Today I'm going to be talking about all things how to sell products in your clinic without it feeling weird. But first, if you are a massage therapist and there's been points where you've realized that you've basically built a really busy practice and also accidentally built a business that completely relies on you, if you don't treat, you don't earn, and if you wanted more and you want to create more impact, more freedom, but mostly more choice, then I would love to encourage you to check out our Health Leader Mastery 12-month mentoring program. You can go to healthleaderco.com/mastery, check that out, and at the bottom of the page, you can apply. And if it's right for you, then you can get James, Christine, or myself to put 20 minutes of eyes on your business to see what's possible. So how do we sell products in our clinic without it being weird? When I first started massaging, I was absolutely convinced that all I ever needed was one treatment was going to fix, in inverted commas, everybody. And obviously, as I started to grow as a practitioner and learn about my skills and the fact that, I don't perform miracles in every treatment, that sometimes people do need follow-up, and that is not a reflection of my skills. It's actually just a reflection on what's gone on with people's bodies and how we together work through different injuries and different problems that people have. So when I was first working in my business, I worked 2 days a week for myself and 5 days a week at a day spa. And when I was at the day spa, I met a lady who was one of my managers who was just as passionate about the skin as I am and was passionate about fascia and muscles and injury. And what blew me away about this lady was not only her passion for the skin, but her ability to sell. Product just walked out the door. It wasn't weird for her. She wasn't awkward about it. She, I think, still had targets that perhaps the day spa had set for her, but for her, her passion was just so spot on that it really did just help her be able to sell products really easily. Now, for me, I was employed as what's called a body therapist. So while I did relaxation and remedial massage, I also was taught how to do body wraps, body scrubs, use the Vichy shower, put people in the float tank, put them in the hydrotherapy tub with different products. And part of my role was to sell one product a shift. That was the KPI that they'd set me. Now, again, I was like, I don't sell things. I'm a deep tissue remedial therapist. It's in inverted commas, I have a real job. And I remember they sent me off to a workshop called Don't Sell, Recommend. And I thought it was absolute genius on their part. One of the things that we were taught in the workshop was how to recommend products to people that come into the day spa. So the products all had, natural ingredients and all that kind of stuff. And the recommendation was to learn 1, 2, or 3 ingredients in each of the products that you were using and what they did. So when someone came in with eczema, we would recommend more mud. If someone came in with really dry skin, we'd recommend the moisturizer that had AHAs in it because it would help to remove dead skin cells and then moisturize the skin. We would recommend, we just found the thing that would, what each product had in and what it did and the outcomes that it gave. And I mean, I haven't worked at the day spa for 24 years. and I can still remember the products. They're pretty etched in my mind. So, I think that can be a really great way to introduce products into our clinic, is to just think about what might they do. Now, in my journey, I did start learning about these different products, and I started using their face products that they sold, and I absolutely love them, still do. When I can find them available, I'll try to purchase them. And, a lot of the ingredients in there were active, and the things you buy at the supermarket are less active. And, I learned all this different stuff about skin. And when I started my own business, I didn't have any products for sale. I just didn't do that. I would recommend something that I was taught about when I did my Bowen qualification, called MagPhos, which is a tissue salt, magnesium phosphate. And I would recommend my clients go and buy MagPhos. It's specifically for muscular aches and pains, and particularly cramps. It's a spray, a tablet, and it comes in a cream form as well to apply. And so I would recommend for my clients to go and go get some MagPhos. And inevitably they come back and say, oh, I bought magnesium. And I'm like, that's not magnesium, it's MagPhos. And after about, a couple of years of this going back and forwards, I remember one day I said to one of my clients, I'm like, if I stocked it, would you buy it? And they were like, heck yes. I was like, oh, okay. So I found a stockist and where I could be a wholesaler, and was able to get it for wholesale price, and started stocking it in my clinic. The next thing that we got into the clinic is something called Physio Creme, which we got some samples sent to us, and I just put it in the clinic, and the staff started using it, and they came to me and said, Leash, whatever this has got in it, it's working really well, because our hands have never felt so good since using it on clients. So I think we should get some. Now, it had arnica, calendula in it, and tea tree, which arnica and calendula are really good for sprains, strains, and bruising. And tea tree is a local Australian herb that's really good for, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it makes it smell beautiful. So we used this cream, and I still use it today, if I'm honest. That was something that we just found worked really, really well. And so between MagPhos and Physio Creme, I think we had another one that was like a homeopathic anti-inflammatory called Tremils. All these different products that we gathered in my clinic over the years didn't start from having a full range of things we wanted to have. It just started from the things that I was either using myself or often recommended to my clients. And our clients loved it. In the end, I think we had a local lady making hot weed bags, and she used local lavender that was locally grown. And we had books of nutrition books and parenting books that were great for the stages that our clients were in. We stocked spiky balls, foam rollers, pillows, and just over the years, just kind of added to the collection. And really for us, our products that we sold at the clinic were things that could help our clients between sessions. So it's not something that we didn't start out with some big list. It just happened that we ended up with a catalog of things that worked really well that we used. We had used by trial and error, or found out, or one of the staff had gone and done something and learned about and found it really helpful. So we'd all have a go of it and go, yeah, that's working really well, and we'd bring it in. And I think that was how we got quite good at being able to bring products into the clinic, because we weren't necessarily just selling something for the sake of it. It was something that we really believed in and were using ourselves, and so became something that we could then, on-sell to our clients. The other thing I think is great about products is that it allows us to make extra profit. Because we can often, the markup on products will be, can be 50% to 100% or more, sometimes 300 or 400% for the product that you are selling in your practice. So it's a way of making income on top of our, weekly clientele coming in. And the other thing that we used for products was, when we had a package, you can inflate the price of the package ethically. So let's say you had a package of 3 massages and a Physio Creme and some MagPhos and a spiky ball. It might be worth, $400 or $500, and you can take a percentage off the top of that, because the Physio Creme, the spiky ball, and the MagPhos didn't cost you that amount to purchase. but it would cost you that amount to sell or if someone was buying it. So it was a way of inflating our packages without having to take a discount off the top of our massage. So we weren't bundling massages and then discounting off the top of that. We were taking the discount from the product that we were selling. I think sometimes when and this is like a little bit of a side tangent here because we're not talking about packages. However, I think one of the things that people can do, the mistakes that people can make when they're making packages is that they'll add it up and be like, buy 5 massage, get your 6 free. And what I'd say to that is that we're not a barista and there's no reason that we should have to give free massage. We are highly skilled and highly qualified and highly trained in the incredible work that we do. So being able to charge well for our services and have another way of inflating the price in a package, we can do through product. And the other way I used to do this was through if I had a 3-pack or a 5-pack or a 6-pack that I was selling, and often it was a specific purpose. So I might have sold a pack to or offered a package to a PT for an 8-week challenge, for example, so that people would get regular treatments throughout their 8-week challenge. And so what I would do is actually give, if people were buying 3 1-hour massages, I would upgrade the first one to a 90 minutes. So while I was giving away some of my time, again, I can inflate the price of a 90-minute massage. Well, not inflate, but I can say that the price of a 90-minute massage is this. If you include that value plus the other 2 treatments, plus the physio cream and the Magvos and the spiky ball, that ends up being, $450, $500 or something like that or more. And so it was a way of being able to not invite in resentment from giving away free or discounted treatment. A little bit of a tangent, but hey, if you're listening to this and you've been listening to me all year, you're going to know that that is my way. And it's kind of fun. Yeah, it's like, where am I going to land it? Sometimes I don't even know. However, being able to sell product, I think, is a really great addition to the incredible service that we offer with our wonderful hands-on skills. So for you, what are the things that you use or have heard of or know make a difference to your health and well-being or to your family and friends and clients' well-being that you could also sell as a recommendation for the beautiful people that you serve? I am sure that there are many, many, many incredible places that stock products that would love to be able to help support you and your practice. And a good bit of Googling could often be a great place to start. You can always check out your latest journal, and you can also check out the ABNP website, which I'm sure has many wonderful stockists that you could be stocking in your practice as well. For more insights and practical tips and inspiration to take your practice to the next level, please subscribe to the ABNP podcast wherever you listen to great podcasts. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.